the part that really excites me is the presence of what I called patterns. And this, if you understand this pattern, it will change the way you read the Bible. It will also change your relationship with God. So, I don't know if anybody else tried this before, but I have found that the best way to understand the Bible is to read it without chapters or verses. So find yourself a reader's Bible online that doesn't have chapters or verses. It will flow much more beautifully. Like the way we read it now, like I can give you a history of it, but like the Bibles that you hold in your hand, the only other book in the world that looks like that, there are only two other kinds. What are they? Dictionaries and encyclopedias. They're not meant to be read. They're only made for reference. The reason the Bibles look the way they are right now is because they were made during the Reformation, because they needed to reference verses in their discussions about certain topics. But it was never meant to stay that way. And so what I found is that when you read the Bible without chapters or verses, it just flows much more beautifully. And you begin to experience the story of it rather than the knowledge of it. Okay? And so by chance, it was not like, it was totally by chance. I went to McKay's and I found these readers' Bibles. And I bought them, brought them home, but I didn't think that it was much different because the letters were still tiny. So I returned them. I'm like, I can't do this, no difference. And then I was like, readers' Bibles. So I went online and I found these 6-volume Reader's Bible by Crossway, the ESV Reader's Bible. Bought them, and my life has changed completely since then. Because that has unlocked the Bible for me completely. And so, one day I was reading where I knew it was Genesis 9. What happened in Genesis 9? What's the conclusion of it? Anybody? The flood. Right? So I used to think that everything before that was all separate stories, creation story, or the fall, the first murder, and the genealogy, and the flood story. But I was wrong. It's all one story. Like it's supposed to flow completely. And that's when I realized that flow is the entire Bible. So if you understand Genesis 1 through 9 properly, you have the entire Bible in your grasp. So the Bible starts, the Genesis 1 through 9, it starts with a long introduction. And the second part, there's a quick summary. And when I say summary, I'm not talking about summary of here, just what happened here is just summarized. Not much details. And then we come to a crisis. And then we have an offer of salvation. And then we have the results. This is the entire Bible. Okay? Genesis 1 through 4, gives a very detailed picture of the creation, the fall, and the first murder. And then Genesis 5 summarizes 2,000 years of time in one chapter. Adam had Seth had just summarized. So, if you were to just look at this in terms of the days, maybe 10 days, right? 7 days of creation, 1 day for the fall, 1 day for the first murder, right? Just to be generous, maybe 15 days. 2,000 years, 1 chapter, 10 days, 4 chapters. And then we come to the crisis in Genesis 6. The world is as wicked as it could be. And as a result, they die in the flood. But before the flood comes, God gives them the ark. The idea is that if you get in the ark, you live. So the results, flood and new earth, is determined by this, and not anything in between and before that. Okay? And then when I saw this, I was like, wait, this is the entire Bible. Everything fits into this. Look at this. So, 1 Samuel 1 to 1 Kings 11 talks about 4 people. 67 chapters for 4 people. You know who they are? Samuel, Saul, David, and Solomon. Only 4 guys get 67 chapters. Okay? And then 12 to 16, about 7 kings get 5 chapters. Okay? And then 1 Kings 16:30. Anybody read that for us? What does it tell us about this particular king? 1 Kings 16:30.
1 Kings 16.
30.
30?
Yep. 30.
I think I'll read. Okay, so First Kings chapter 16 verse 30. It says, now Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord more than all who were before him.
Right. So this king, was he better than the kings before him? He was the worst. So this is like the lowest point of Israel. Okay? And then from this point on, as a result of Ahab's sin, Israel is destroyed by Assyria. But if the pattern is consistent, what should we see here? Offer of salvation. Who is that? What is that? Elijah. Elijah and Elisha. Okay? The Torah covers 2 narratives, 2 stories. That's it. The Exodus journey, the story of Abraham and his family, and then the Exodus journey. That's it. 2 stories. And then the summary, the historical books, from Joshua to Esther, the size is very similar. The Torah and the historical books, the size are very similar. But it covers so many more events. And then we come to the wisdom books. Wisdom books is our personal crisis. Proverbs and Ecclesiastes is Solomon's personal crisis that he's going through. Proverbs is his way of preventing your personal crisis from happening, right? And if you look at Psalms is all about crisis that people are going through. Life is terrible. God has deserted us. Like, this is what Psalms are about. So the wisdom books are a personal crisis, while the prophets are what? National crisis. They're in Babylon. Things are really bad. And as a result of this, eventually, in 70 AD, what happens to Jerusalem? Destroyed. Jesus. Now, look at this. From Matthew to Jude covers only 100 years of history, church history. The early church, in great detail. And then Revelation 1 to 3, and then 4 to 10, covers 2,000 years of history in 3 chapters. The 7 churches and the 7 whatevers. And then what kind of crisis are we at after chapter 10? Revelation 11 through 13. This is the worst crisis the world has ever seen. And as a result of this problem, the end of the world comes. But if the pattern is consistent, if God is not fed up with us yet, what should we see right here? 3 angels' message. Can you see it? This is the most consistent picture of the entire Bible. And this is the beautiful part that I need you guys to think about. And that is that, so you guys don't have to take pictures. I have handouts here that you guys can take with you. So look at this. What is consistent here is that salvation, the results of what happens here, is determined solely by this, not what happened before. You see, what happened before, there's nothing for us to present to God as a reason why we should get a different result than death. Here, we all messed up. That's what it clearly tells us. We started well, but we just quickly descended, and we're in crisis. This is all our doing. We don't deserve this, and we deserve to die. But this is sent to us without questions or merit. Jesus said, the final days will be like the days of Noah. The last message is a Elijah message. Revelation is a revelation of Jesus Christ. Revelation 14 is the everlasting gospel. It never changed from the beginning. Malachi 3:6. Somebody read that for us? Malachi 3:6. Okay.
For I am the Lord, I do not change, therefore you are not consumed, O sons of Jacob.
Okay, so according to that verse, what is the reason we have surety of salvation? God doesn't change. The only reason we can be confident of our salvation is not because we've been to church, not because we're doing all the right things, not because we know the truth, but because this guy doesn't change. He has never changed the way he has treated sinners, and he won't do it this time. If you look at this, the message has never been, get your act together. It has never been that. Get in the ark. The God who sends fire, He is the Lord. Come to me today. And the Revelation 14, the three angels' message is similar. Come out of her, my people. But the thing is, here's the thing. You have to remember, the only reason somebody would come out of Babylon is if they believe that they will be accepted even if they come out now. Not because they have their life together, because they believe that they will be accepted even if they come now. You see, the reason we struggle in our relationship with God is because we don't know that God will treat us the same way. Like we think that our choices somehow affects the way He looks at us. But we don't know, we forget. Because we don't see a consistent story in the Bible, because we see the Old Testament and New Testament somehow different. And so we're hesitant. Will I be accepted if I go just the way I am today? And you have to see this for yourself. You have to see this in your personal life, and you realize this is what grace is like. When I saw this, it changed my life. Because the whole Bible story came into my mind, and I realized if this is the way God has consistently acted, He will do the same for me. And that is enough.